All right, let's do a brief audio and visual check. How's everybody doing? You guys can see who I have with me tonight. Baron over here to my left, your right. How are you, Baron?
Doing better than this morning. I know I was supposed to be on fast markets. I woke up with a migraine. So usually those last anywhere from like 2 to 3 hours for me, but feeling a lot better now. It's just something I've been having them since I was like 12. So
Man, I
something you
mean,
got to deal with.
it just health and taking care of yourself, your body, and being able to trade is definitely priority, right? You could wake up any day and trade, but if you're not 100% in your health, then it's better to just pass and wait until you're starting to feel better.
Yeah, for sure. And I see that like, I mean, I've done it too, where not even just health, but like you have outside factors in your life start to come in, and
Yeah.
like those can bleed into your trading.
Yeah, 100%. Any distraction, any factors outside of trading in regular day-to-day life and in general will come into play. Now, let me go ahead and get started. I don't see the Nightbot in the chat. Always late. Let me get a few things set up on my end and make sure we have the top step risk disclosure. As you guys can see, it's going to come through the YouTube chat. This is for educational purposes only. It's not financial advice. Yeah, we have Baron with us. Baron, one more question. Did you buy stock now? Did you buy stock today?
Like Trump said?
Yeah, did you follow what Trump said? And then did you sell it? Because he forgot to tell
No,
us when to sell it.
no, I didn't. Yeah, he didn't say to sell like right when he got into his presidency, but yeah, no, I didn't buy anything. I bought some stuff at the lows. Like what was that, 3 weeks ago?
Yeah, yeah. Man, time goes by so fast. Yeah, it
Yeah,
was.
I bought some Nvidia down there, and then some Meta as well. Because my logic for that was Meta has been like, if you look at the Max 7, from the start of the year, like Meta ran up like 10 or 15%, like right at the start of the year, and then all the other Max 7s were kind of either doing nothing or declining. So to me, it's like it's an indicator that they're a strong stock already. So picking some up down in that area was nice.
Yeah, and you're in a trade. Can you walk us through this trade that you are in?
Yeah, just short. I was long earlier. I got stopped out of it, and then I shorted here. I shorted once I saw this like start to come in. It didn't stop me out or anything. I closed it and then tried to long again. So
I'm
I
seeing a.
I kind of got I call it monkey brain just in my head. But this, like, once I saw um,
Is your screen
these,
frozen? I'm not sure. I want to make sure.
is it frozen? It might be. Yeah,
Uh,
because it doesn't look like it's updating.
oh, okay. You might have to
Reload.
reshare it. Reshare it.
Yeah, let me reload it.
It's even looking better than what it was right there. So go ahead and reload that. While you do it, I'm going to go ahead and switch it over to my charts. And let's run through NASDAQ, everybody. Let's run through the day while Baron's resharing his charts. We're selling off here. We're continuing to sell off. Are we going to go back to 20,000? I mean, that's the direction we're going after what an insane day. Let's take a look at the daily chart and see where we are at. We had obviously all the news coming in today. Tomorrow, tonight's Friday's price action. Tomorrow is Friday. And if we take a look at the economic events, I'm not sure why it's not loading up here, but we know there's a lot of Fed speakers. Like there's 100 of them talking tomorrow. So we have a lot of Fed speakers tomorrow that can bring some more, like some choppy markets, right? And some more tape bombs. Who knows? But let me go out to the daily chart again, and I want to talk about something that Hoag and I was talking about this morning, was Friday's candlestick, Friday's price, and everything to the right, it was considered inside. Well, it's interesting that we tried to break down below Friday's low, and we failed. Today, we tried to break out above Friday's high, and we failed, and we are on our way maybe back to the middle of this range, the middle of this consolidation. I could see that we're still here, and are we going to break out? I don't know. Maybe we're in for some more consolidation, but even though this is consolidation, it's still a wide range, and we're still seeing lots of volatility.
I think what the market's waiting on is like a big trade deal or something to come out. The one from today, the UK one, like that to me wasn't that big. And then Trump said, what did he say? He said maybe we'll go lighter on tariffs with China or whatever. He also said the 10%, what was it? 10% tax break or tariff for the UK, that's the lowest that they'll go, and it's not standard for other countries.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's weird. This market's been hard to read the past week.
I'm getting your chart set in. Just give me just one moment. I think that's what it was. The market was expecting something big, right? And so maybe the market didn't get what it wanted. And I didn't pay attention to this afternoon, and we just sold off. I was surprised to check this market and see that we sold off. And I was pretty surprised. Okay, I think I have your charts. So give me a second to make sure it looks nice. It might take a second. It might take just a moment. Ooh.
Yeah, I was thinking that we would continue up on FOMC, like off FOMC, because that was pretty much the expectation of it. No rate cut. But yeah, Trump's, whenever he tweets, it's just like the market goes crazy. Before it was, he tweets about new tariffs and then the market dumps, and now it's trade deal, market pumps. So it's a little bit reversed now.
There we go. We got it up now. We have your charts open. They don't look too bad. So we're good to go for your charts. Right there. Now, if you don't mind walking through that trade, please.
Yeah, so I was long in here because I thought we would bounce from, to me it looked like we'd bounce here. I use fibs a lot, and we were sitting right at the 618, just kind of consolidating. So I would have liked to see this move up to like 5,700 before it started falling off. That stopped me out for 5 points on 2 minis, so it was like $500 of loss. And then I went short. I chased the shorts, and it didn't stop me out or anything, but I closed it. I just closed it, and then I tried to long again, then got stopped on that. And then when I saw these wicks, right, we had it wick out here, and then there was no continuation to the upside. To me, that told me to short it. But I've already eaten into most of my DLL, so now I'm on micros trying to claw back $200, and then just build up on the micros from there. But I've been having a rough go about it.
Yeah, we were talking about it in the green room, right? Talking about DLL, talking about there's a lot of negative sentiment around daily loss limit because of online community, because of social media. When someone talks about DLL, it's very negative sentiment. It's very, I guess, publicly punished. I don't know. There's just lots of negativity around it. DLL can be a good thing.
It helps you from blowing up.
Right.
I have some students who like I've seen their like TradeZellas and their performance on Topstep X, and they'll be consistent for 2 weeks, and then it's just there's one like they'll build up a balance over 5 figures, and then there's one day where they blow up. And if you have a daily loss limit, it prevents that blow up from happening.
Yeah, it's basically like his Royal Trade says in the chat. It's just a stop loss, and it should never be looked at. You should never worry about anybody. What do you call it? Bullying you, making fun. I don't know what the right way is, but never feel guilty or bad about hitting your daily loss limit. It's there for a reason. However, make sure you put it at a reasonable size. You don't have it half your account value. Don't have it so big. Make it enough that you can make on an average day. Average, right? On an average day, that's what you can make, or double that, right? So you can have double that. And we're talking in the green room, Baron, where some days you're up 3 times your DLL, and your DLL is at 1,500. There's times where you're up 4,000, 6,000. I've seen it, and $1,500 loss is very, very minimal compared to some of your winning days.
Yeah, this past week I just haven't been like locking the account when I'm like Monday I was up like $5,000. Tuesday I was up like 3,500. Didn't lock the accounts, and that's something I was doing in the XFAs when I was making a lot of money. Was I was like I was just locking the account. I was locking the account and calling it a day.
Okay.
I was looking at my stats and for a different account, and it's like once I'm get a certain amount of profit on them, I'm done for the day. Like I hit 2K and I'm like, cool, I'm done. So I need to really just be setting. I set a daily profit target now.
Okay.
It will just lock the account, and it's something that I know I can consistently hit. I set it to I think 2K. So I know I can consistently hit 2K. So if I'm hitting that 3-4 days of the week, and I hit the DLL 1-2 days a week, it's net positive overall.
Nice. I mean, myself included, and traders see it. I'm positive. I had Monday, I lost $292. Tuesday, I was down 3,000, like 3,100. Wednesday, I was down 3,100, 3,300. And today, I was up. I finished my day, actually, 7,500. And so for this week, I'm a net positive. And the funny thing is, I was talking to risk management on the live funded account benefits. I was like, hey, we're starting this. What day is it started? Going through everything. And it started, what's the date? The date's right there somewhere. Started just yesterday, right? And like, yeah, after today, you're net positive, and you are in the green, on track for the live funded account benefits. So I can tell you what, I know chat loves it to see those losses, but in reality, I am one of those traders who are fine having the majority of my days being red, as long as my green days are, 2R what my red days are, or, depending on the situation, like
3R, whatever it is.
Yeah, exactly. So, I've been losing $3,000 in the last 2 days. Today was $7,500. And so, this week, 4 trading days, I've lost 3 of them, won 1, and I'm up $1,500. And it's interesting to see that from the different statistics points, the different styles of trading, the different ways that traders view. I know, Baron, traders all the time, they look at the winning percentage, and they look at that as being like their only statistics they pay attention to. Is like, wow, this trader is a 90% winning trader. But then, like you were saying, in 4 or 5 weeks, one day blows out their entire account.
Yeah, I think you see that a lot too. It's just like just one day can just completely negate everything.
Yeah. Have you ever ran into that situation yourself where you're just in a really good winning streak, you have a high win percentage, and you're doing well, and then you just let one day either you go on tilt,
Yeah,
you know, too big of
yeah,
size, and then you blow it up?
yeah. Back in October, I had I don't know if I should say the prop firm's name because they weren't paying out people anyway. Like there was some drama with that.
Okay.
Um, I had a 200K account with them. They give you, I think it's 10K drawdown or 20K drawdown or something like that. And in 2 weeks, I ran the account balance up to 95K, and I was number one on their leaderboard.
Oh
And
wow.
then I was like, I was talking to people in a Discord, and I was like, I'm at 95K. Should I just go for the 100K? Like this would be dope because I can see like full payout, right? Because they didn't have any payout restrictions. It was like 100% payout,
Okay.
right?
Right.
100% payout for traders. Da 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 da. I ended up entering a trade. I knew I was over leveraged. The trade gave me anxiety, and I was floating like 4K of profit. I was like, I should just close this. I should just close this. I should just close this. And I didn't bring my stop up. And then it ended up like missing my TP by like a couple ticks.
Oh my god.
Ran against me, stopped me out. I re-entered, stopped me out, re-entered, stopped me out. And like the 2 weeks of like a win streak was just dead in the water from that.
Man, that's so frustrating. I've been there. I've seen it in my VIP team too, where and just in general since I've started, coaching here at Topstep, where traders will get within like I would say points. I'd say like 4 or 5 points. It could be $50. It could be $500. It could be $100. Whatever your account size is, from passing a combine, and then for whatever reason they either size up, they break their rules, and the next thing you know, they gave back half, and then they try and go for it, and then they give back more, and then they're resetting or purchasing a new account.
Yeah. I think that's the hardest bit with trading. It's like limiting that I think is the limiting factor. Like it's not trading. It's the like either the greed or like the FOMO or the emotion that like steps in, and like that's the limiting factor for most people that I see at least.
That makes sense. I agree. See it all the time, every day. Every trader has went through that. If not, you probably will face that hurdle sometime in the near future in your trading journey. That's how it is. I'm not seeing anything else in these markets. So you've been focusing on the ES.
Yeah.
You was from the NASDAQ. Now you're focusing on the ES. You said it's a lot slower. Do you feel like there's a period where you need to get used to it? You need to get
Yeah,
comfortable trading ES?
think I still need like another because this week's been weird. I need another week or two where like we actually have clean price action to kind of get used to like the retracements, the pullbacks, that sort of thing, where to enter and all that. This kind of looks good for longs to me. This is where we had all that buying in the and we did get a spike on the 1 minute, but I don't want to get faked out on logs again because it's already happened to me twice tonight.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything either.
I don't have much drawdown either is the other thing, so I have to scrape myself back with micros.
Hey, I trade the same process, man. Just smaller size, and it is Friday, so you do have this weekend to look forward to. Let me see if I can put some music on, and let me know if it's too loud for everybody. Let me know if you could even hear it on your end, Baron.
Yeah, I can.
Okay. And just let me know if it's too loud. Joe Black says, per Topstep quote transparency, is Dakota down on the year or up? If up, by how much? Joe, I think you're in my VIP, man. Joe Black is in my VIP, and sometimes I don't know whether he is always trolling or not. But if those who care about my on my trading, tune in to TopstepTV daily and do the math.
I mean, all those streams are published, so
Every single one of them, man.
They could go back if they really want to pocket watch that bad. They can go back and they can watch all of them.
I know. I've never understood it. I think that's gonna be my answer. Do you ever get that stuff too, where you have traders just always like, "Hey, how much your profit? How much your profit?" And it's just like, it's shown every single day for everybody. It's not like any other where I'm switching accounts. This same account that traders see has been the same account since I've been live in Topstep X. You guys could see it, Topstep X 2185 since July. Dang, it's already been since July. So go through the math. I mean, maybe a better suggestion is work on your own process, Joe Black. Paw trade. Are we gonna let's not let tonight turn into a troll night. I don't know. Sometimes I don't know if they're trolling or just being sarcastic. Let's see, go through. All right, well, let's chill, listen to music, and trade. I mean, I'm not seeing too much in terms of any trade setups we went through. Gold's been very volatile. I know Coach Jay and Hoag called out an absolutely amazing short on gold. This is a 5-minute chart. Hoag was calling out shorts up here towards this 3350 level, and Coach Hoop called out another banger. Said, "Yeah, I'll wait for it to bounce up." We bounced up, and now we hit 3,300, and we're starting to rally, but nothing really in the NASDAQ. And then you're watching the ES, correct, Baron?
Yeah, correct. And we bounced 10 points off the lows. It's really just balanced conditions right now. This is tradable for sure, but we keep making higher highs, so I'd lean towards that. Like we made one.
You're looking at an hourly chart?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like we made a higher high here, but we also made a lower low. So I don't know. It's in a weird spot.
Where are you seeing
from the FOMC? Was that FOMC?
Yeah. What are you seeing a lower low?
This, right? So you had the
low got here. It. Okay. Yes. Yeah, I see. Yeah.
It was that on the daily. Right. It's been failing to break to either side. This to me looks like it could move up. It's just, I don't know. It's tough to call that. If Trump tweets, then it's off to the races.
I'm surprised the news wasn't bigger than that. And I think that's... Does anybody know why the market sold off this afternoon? Was there an event? Because it looks like the last 30 minutes we sold off 200 points. Everyone's chat is just in love with gold.
I haven't looked at gold in a while. I know it does get moving during Asia session.
Someone say that was on tax. What's a good strategy with gold? I'm not much of a gold trader, chat. Financial juice, no interest rate cut this year. Trump increasing taxes. What if Trump says BDA concepts? Did you watch any of the fast markets this morning?
No, I didn't.
Oh,
I was
man.
pretty much just sitting. I have to go like soak my feet in hot water and like hold an ice pack on my head.
Oh, there was a banger this morning. I made. It was less about making the money, and more about the BDA concept joke. If you look at the hourly chart, and I think you've seen this before, where it's basic technical analysis. We draw a trend line from the highs on the NASDAQ, and we were in a downtrend. We broke that last night, and while we were selling off, I was looking to buy it in this area, and it worked out too good. It worked out just too good.
If I look at that, to me that looks like it just hit a fib level.
This right here?
Yeah.
So you're saying this looks like a fib from something like this? Yeah, pretty close. That's what, the 50%?
I looked at gold because one of my students was trading gold, and he's like, I just don't know how to trade this, and I was like, well, like I hadn't charted gold in like 2 months, but to me it looks like gold loves fib retracements. Like it loves to hit them.
I know Hoop likes it. Man, Hoop loves gold. I've never traded Fibonacci's on gold though. Let me see. This would make sense. This last one. Let's look from that major sell-off. Is that one of your main things that you do? Is Fibonacci's? Yeah. I mean, yeah, that was a 50%.
Yeah, and then look at recent PA.
What's that?
Look at this recent run. This to me also looks like a fib.
Are you referring to this one?
No, on the lower time. Like the recent run up that we're getting.
Okay. Are you referring to, let's see.
I would take the higher pivot point. Yeah, that one.
The 78.6?
Yeah. And it also retests that structure where it started to break out.
All right. Okay. How would you look for targets on this? Do you do fib extensions?
Yeah, I started using them recently with the initial balance range because I was going through Edgeful, and they've got some pretty interesting stats on it. On ES, the 0.2 fib extension will hit 95% of the time if the IB high or IB low gets taken out.
Interesting.
But that's at any point during the day. So it's not like it breaks it and then immediately hits it. It breaks it and it has that probability to hit it at some point during the day.
Got it. Oh, there's Nightbot with a risk disclosure. 30 minutes late.
I think I'm gonna try this short. It's just I don't have too much room to trade this.
Yeah,
got $40. I've got $40 to draw down. So.
One micro's not that bad. Yeah, I'm looking. Shorts look pretty tempting on the NASDAQ as well. I could see that. Do I treat the Nightbot worse than I do the trolls? Do you use Wix when drawing Fibonacci's?
Yeah. I do, at least.
Okay. I'm looking at this. This is an interesting one. Any advice on how to deal with a losing streak? What have you been doing? Like you said, you've been struggling a little bit. What's your best way mentally to deal with what anything
with this live account? Yeah, I've been on a losing streak. But Yeah, I think from the chart perspective, you just need to take a small winning day, right? You just need to, like, whatever win you get, you just need to take that. All right. Mentally, you just kind of, to me, it's like you just have to keep doing what you're doing until it breaks, until it snaps, because it will snap eventually. But I've had times where I've been on a month and a half losing streak, and it can really like affect your mental frame of mind, because you're like because anything else you do in life, right? Like school or whatever it is, right? If you put more work into it, right? You practice more, you do the right things, right? You're going to get good results for the most part. But with this, like, you can literally change nothing about your trading and just continue to hit that loss streak over and over again. So it can be mentally draining. I think you just have to, you kind of just have to not care, but it's tough when it's money, right? It's tough when it's financially incentivized.
It is. We're humans. We grew up basically having an emotional connection to money, and then trying to emotionally deconnect from the dollars and look at money as a tool, right, to do what we're doing. It's hard, man. I time and effort does not always equal the outcome you want. It's exactly like you said it. It's like, man, I could spend the next 100 hours doing something and researching and back testing and building a strategy. Those 100 hours are not guaranteed to equal money. And that's the opposite of how we're kind of trained to put in 100 hours of work, and we should expect X amount of dollars back.
Yeah. Usually I look at like if you're on a daily loss streak, like where it's like day after day after day, you're just losing, right? Like that is definitely tough to overcome. That's part of where like that daily loss limit helps, because it's like, even if you lose 10 days in a row, right, you can make it back in 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, just being stuck in like loss after loss after loss, like that is challenging. And if you look at there's a chart where if you look up statistical, like your win rate and the percent chance of you going on a loss streak within 100 trades, right, you can find that out, right, what your probability of seeing like a 5 loss streak, 6 loss streak, 7 loss streak is within 100 trades.
There's I've studied some roulette theory. I'm a statistics guy. I love statistics. I love probabilities. And the funny thing is, Las Vegas and like roulette and blackjack and poker and the statistics back, like understanding all of that, probabilities, can relate so much to what we're doing here in this market. It's an interesting thing. And yeah, it's, even though statistically you can flip a coin 50-50, right, on a fair coin, over 100 period of, or the longer the sample size, the closer to 50% it will be. But then you could run into a situation where you could flip heads like 10 times in a row.
Yeah, you'll see that. Like, because I used to play craps.
Okay.
I used to play craps, so I had an internship that was like an hour and a half away from my house in Seattle. And so like I couldn't go hang out with my friends because it's like an hour and a half to drive back during the week, all that. And the only things there, I was staying at like an Airbnb, like a long-term Airbnb. It was like, there was a gym and there was a casino. And I had just been to Vegas like a few months before that, because I turned 21 or 22. And I was playing craps, and then I went and did all the math on craps. And it's like the average roll is 7. And like, I mean, you can do all the math you want. The house still has the edge, right?
Yeah.
But my strategy was I would go in there with like $300 to $600. And if I was up $300 to $600 after an hour, I'd just leave. But I would see like the same people there every single day, and they were always pulling more money out of their wallet. And for me, like I would bet like on some numbers hitting, but then I would also bet on I forget what the line is.
Pass, go.
It's the one in like the upper left corner where if someone rolls, like if the number gets set and then someone rolls
no
like
pass line. Someone says no pass line.
well, there's like the pass line, the no pass line. I think it's the don't come line. So if someone rolls,
okay,
like they say the number and then you roll like a 4, right? I would move my chips there because if someone rolls a 7, yeah, I'm gonna lose the money on the numbers that I laid, but it was like I would hedge essentially. But you'd get some crazy runs and all that.
yeah.
But I was essentially like betting against the people rolling, and they'd all give me like dirty looks.
Why not, man? It's like, hey, you guys are gamblers. Yeah, I think it plays this. There's some good lessons when it relates to trading, and it means that everyone's prone to take losses. And the most important thing is when you experience those losses, when you experience the losing streak, how much do you lose, right? The best loser wins. You're okay taking a $1,500 loss because, your winning days are greater. You've been up 4,000, been up 6,000, more than that. And just being able to take those wins could also be part of that. Maybe it's a psychological thing where, just like you said, man, if I maybe just focus more on quality over quantity, maybe taking less trades, maybe locking up, putting in those profits, banking that money, coming back the next day, then that could help you mentally. That will also help you build not give back some of the profits. It could do so many different things for you, and that's the same for me. Sometimes I get in a losing streak. I'm like, all right, I just want to finish the day up green. It doesn't matter how much. I just want to finish a green day in this crappy market maybe you're struggling in.
Yeah, because even I just said it, like, right, I would walk out, like I'd come in with $300 to $600 and I'd walk out with $300 to $600. At the end of the summer I was up like $3 or $4 grand or something like that. So I think I need to apply that to the trading again, because I was doing that in the Express accounts. Like I'd just be like, okay, I made $2 grand or whatever it was, and I'd be locking it. But I think the thing with that is like, because I was copy trading 4 accounts, right? If you make $2 grand, then in your head you're like, okay, I actually just made 8, right? So when you're on one account, it's like, okay, I just made $2 grand, but I was making 8 to 10K, right, or whatever it was, if you're copy trading.
Yeah, that's the battle. That's the conversation I had with MP for the past, over a year now, was like, are for, against copy trading, how many accounts, where's the limit, where do you draw the line, what will an actual broker allow, how does the FCM, what are the rules, what's the correct way to do this to help traders? Because essentially, in theory, if you're doing a simulated account, you could copy trade 1,000 accounts, and if you make $5, you just made $5,000. But you want to be able to do it, what's a more realistic way, what's a more healthy way, because copy trading can, I've had a change of heart over the past year of I was really against it just because in my personal brokerage, I've never really thought of that or heard of it. I'm like, well, why do you need a copy trade when you just could do it with your one count? You just increase your position size. Simple. But then it's more of the psychological base where you're not looking at that huge P&L moving up and down. You're focusing on a smaller dollar amount where it's like, man, I could make $400 very easy, but then I'm having such a hard time making $2,000 because I am so focused on the dollar amount. And so copy trading helps with that. And I like that from the aspect with copy trading where you could focus on $200 or $400 days, but then in the back, they're actually, $2,000 to $4,000 days if you're, using a copy trader. So I see that aspect when it comes to the psychological side, but not to where, hey, let's just hit the casino button and put a multiplier on it. That's the unhealthy way to do it.
Yeah.
So it's a double-edged sword.
Yeah, and I don't know. I feel like I'm almost have like imposter syndrome from it because like I've made so much money with like copy trading. I've made a lot of money with like single accounts as well, but like that one in what was that, September, where I made 95K. It was just one account, right? Like it wasn't like I was using 4 accounts for that. It was just one account. Um, but yeah, I feel like going from the 4 Top Step accounts to just one, right? It's kind of like I don't know if it's like I'm not happy with the profit on the day, and that's why I'm hitting the like being up a certain amount and then hitting the DLL or what it is. But I think I just need to accept that, like, hey, I'm not going to get. Okay, there's the there's the TLL as we're speaking of it. But I think it's just like one of those things where you need to, for me, like I just need to be happy with it and just walk away. Because I'm looking like I took on a different account. It took 10 trades in the past 6 days. I won 8 of them, lost 2 of them, and I've got like a 4.0 profit factor.
Oh, okay.
But for me, that's like me stepping away and being done. Right. Once I make a certain amount, I'm just it. If I look at most of the days, it's 1 or 2 trades.
So you're done. Yeah, yeah. So, and Coach Jay and I've has analyzed a lot of trader statistics, and that's probably one of the bigger things that we've seen. Traders who take less trades typically have a better outcome because of that. It's like, take 1 trade a day, 2 trades a day, 3 trades a day, and I'm performing a lot better. I don't overtrade. I don't have to sit there in front of the markets the whole entire time. Today I spoiled myself. I took the trade in fast markets. As soon as I was done with fast markets, I went to the gym. I literally, right after fast markets, I booked a flight to Las Vegas. I have an urgent meeting tomorrow, and then again Monday morning right after fast markets in Vegas. So I'll be in Vegas all week, and then yeah, I'm gonna just relax and enjoy it. Alex, you don't work out, bro. Do you ever hit the gym now that you don't have a job?
Yeah, yeah. Not as much as I used to. I used to be 225. Like I was, and I'm 6'6", so like 225, 6'6". I was going to the gym like 5 or 6 days a week. I want to get back into it though, where I'm consistently going. And then, I mean, I think you see a lot of positive benefits from it.
Oh yeah, yeah. I used to go a lot more. Boxing is the most exercise I do now. I'm 5'6", so you can easily look good. If I was 5'6", I mean, you could buy a smaller house and it would feel like a mansion.
For me, like I almost hit like I'm right at the top of doorways. Like I have to duck under some things sometimes. The ceilings or pipes or whatever it is.
I don't envy you, man. I wanted to be taller when I was younger, but the more and more I've realized, being between 5'6" and 6'2" is like the ideal for buying clothes and some of the stuff that you have to pay for.
Yeah, yeah. I can't buy pants in stores.
Really?
Yeah, it's not like some stores, yeah, because I have a 36 inseam, so like some stores have them, some stores don't. But yeah, like planes suck. Planes suck. It like unless it's always just like you have to upgrade. Like that's just kind of what you have to do, because my knees will be completely pushed into the seat in front of me.
Yeah. Man, I couldn't. Yeah, going on trips and all that stuff. I can imagine. Talking about trips, Baron. I think we might be seeing each other in person soon this summer.
Yeah, I think
We,
so.
I know we kind of gave the chat a little bit of a sneak peek or a little bit of a idea about.
I had a Freudian slip or whatever that's called.
Yeah, but yeah, we can talk about it a little bit more. We can talk about it's this summer, and me, you, and a couple others might be meeting up in Chicago.
Might be.
Might be. Yeah, yeah. What's your thoughts on that? Are you excited? I'm excited for the studio to be built and for us to be going there.
I've never been to Chicago, so I heard during the summer it's nice because the winters I've seen are just brutal there. But yeah, I've never been to Chicago. Actually, that's a lie. I've been to the airport when I was like 6.
Just to pass through.
Yeah, so there's actually a funny story. My mom always tells it. It's we were heading to Scotland. I was just a kid, and we like fell asleep in Chicago O'Hare because we were transferring, and like I woke up and we hear like on the loudspeaker like flight boarding to like Scotland or whatever it was, and I like wake my mom up. And I'm like, they're calling, like, last call, Mom. We gotta go. And she was trying to wake my brother up, and she like couldn't get him to wake up. And I was like, Mom, just leave him. We're gonna miss the flight.
Just leave him.
Yeah, man. Me and my brother's always like me and my brother always like butted heads though. Like, so that was when I was like 6. When I was being born, like my grandma from Scotland flew in, and she was talking to, she was asking my brother, who was like 2 or 3 at the time. And she was like, what are you going to say to your little brother when you see him for the first time? And my brother immediately goes, I'm going to punch him.
All right.
He's like 2 or 3.
Siblings, man. Siblings. Man.
Yeah.
NASDAQ is finding some buyers in here. Kind of.
Yeah.
Head back towards settlement. There's not really much going on. It's Friday's price action. We have a lot of Fed speakers tomorrow. So
yeah, for me, I saw the volume spikes, and well, I keep doing that. I keep wanting to get in a position, and I do the opposite of it.
I've been there. I've known a lot of traders where like, man, if I would have just done the opposite, I would have been very profitable today. Yeah. And then they do it, and then they lose money. They're like, man, why doesn't this work? And then they start going through that. That's a spiral too for traders that go down that route. Second guessing everything. What is settlement? Settlement is the price that it closed during the New York session. So, for example, we closed at, well, you see up here on the top left-hand side. Let me pull up my charts. See, top left-hand side, we're down negative 0.05. So, if NASDAQ rallies 0.05, we're at settlement, which it's right around 3 p.m. Central. I don't know. You could, and if you have any questions, you could go through and do indicator, and there's Topstep's daily levels, and that helps. They haven't been updated yet. Let's see. Where's settlement? Topstep level settlement. So yesterday's settlement, I think, was 961 from down here. And so when this updates, then the settlement will be up there. These daily levels they're nice. I probably need to pay attention to them a little bit more.
Yeah, I've never actually used those.
I just follow them, and they were in line pretty nice with the way I view the market, the support and resistance, and it gave me confidence. And so I stopped looking at him, knowing like, yeah, it's nice to know, and it's a nice visual. though, if traders want to know what settlement, where it's at, where's yesterday's highs, yesterday's lows, weekly high, weekly low. I think there's a weekly kickoff high, and Hoag does some amazing levels. Do you think you mentioned imposter syndrome? Do you think that's played an effect ever since you've been on camera in front of everyone?
Yeah, a little bit for sure. Because it's like when you're just trading by yourself, or you're like you've got like a couple of trading buddies or whatever it is. It's like you're just trading, right? Like you're not expected to consistently perform or do any of that. When you hop on camera, it's like you can, like, as for me, like now I'm like, do I even call this out because I've just been wrong this past week, right? Like, do I even want to say what my analysis is or whatever it is?
Yeah, because being wrong is one thing, right? You have to deal with yourself, your personal emotions, and everything, and then being wrong in front of a few thousand traders is a whole nother level. Especially when sometimes you have in chat traders that are rooting against you, traders who are saying you suck or I should fade you. It's easy. It's like, well, I put a lot of work and I'm doing this. I'm made this money.
Like, it's kind of like you want to just be like, okay, you get up here then.
Yeah, well, we offer that. Like here at Topstep, and I know the team at Topstep's like, we want traders to come on air who believe that, they trade well. Come on, just have a conversation, trade. Let's talk about these markets. But 99% are just all bark, no bite. Most of and there's tons and tons of traders in the chat where we've been sending applications, and very rarely we get somebody to come on air. I mean, you did, right? And did it take you a while to come on?
Yeah.
Was you hesitant?
Yeah, because I was in the top 100 back in like September or November, or maybe it was October, somewhere in there. And I think on my like third or fourth email, right, I was like, okay, like I almost didn't feel comfortable. Like I wasn't confident enough in my trading to like come on air.
It takes another level of being confident to talk about a trade and then to take a trade on air. That's another. I know. When I first started here at Topstep, so you probably know a little bit because you've been watching slow markets for a while. I trade for a living. Like, this is my main job, to trade in my personal accounts. That's what I pay my bills with. And then I had a bet with a friend to join a Topstep in this whole prop firm industry to see if I could take a payout. I took a payout, and then in the Discord, I had a lot of traders asking me questions, and so I was answering some questions when I had free time. And then they're like, hey, do you want to, come on air or at least have a class because you're putting all this time in anyway? I'm like, yeah, why the hell not? Why would I not want to do that? It's fun. And some of the feedback I was getting from these traders, they're like, hey, you've changed my trading for the positive. And I love that. As we're watching gold sell off, I mean, that's a big sell off here in gold.
And NQ and ES are both moving up.
All right.
That's kind of how I started too. It was like I was in a Discord, and there's like a group chat outside of that, and like some people were asking me questions and all that, and I was like trying to help them out. This was like a year ago. I was just consistently taking I was just consistently taking payouts, and people were like, how are you doing this? And I was like, oh, well, I do this. And then I had one person who he kept just like bugging me. Like, he was just always in my DMs like every single day. And it took him about like 6 months to like turn his trading around. But he's gone from, like trying these challenges, blowing them, getting into an express, blowing that, never having a payout to now I think he's taken like 13 or 14 payouts from Topstep. And like, it's something that
Wow.
once, like, that's the other thing is like once trading clicks, right? It's, you go from like lose, 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 lose to like, for whatever reason, like something comes in and it just like, it's like the pieces of the puzzle fit together.
Yeah, yeah, and then there's still ups and downs from there on out, but then they have that confidence, like, okay, now I'm not gonna give up. I'm starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel. You get a payout once, and that's so fulfilling. And the thing that I went through was I went from just being a coach, and then I'm like, okay, I'm gonna like I'll trade in front of everybody now. I'll try it. I'll try and come on air, Danielle. Where they was asking me to come on air, and it was weird. It was weird at first because what I do in my personal accounts it's different than this because it's for me in my personal it's like options and stocks and longer term stuff compared to what we're doing here where it's like in and out within a day. I'm like, okay, it's the same idea, it's the same risk management, it's the same technical analysis. Let's see if we could do it. And so I did it, and I ended up making my way up on number one on the leaderboard within like 2 months. And so I was like, well, this isn't bad. And then I started going through it, and then I'm like,
Everyone's still like fake Dakota. It's like, but
yeah.
he's number one,
And
right?
I'm just, yeah, exactly. I'm like, is this just like a hot streak? Is this a joke? I don't know. This just seems very surreal. I think that's the best way to explain it. I'm like, I kind of don't want to show, and I'm just staying away from showing my personal stuff because my personal stuff's my personal stuff. What I'm doing here at Topstep in this Topstep account that I'm trading in is for education and for what I'm doing here for Topstep and the traders to help. Like, yeah, I'm going to try and show by doing, and hopefully it helps traders to see how I'm doing this. And that's been more valuable than any of the money that I have made here at Topstep. I don't want to say this is kind of a side account, but day trading and doing this in the futures has been a challenge, man. This is a very difficult thing to do, but it's been very,
Yeah.
very.
It's like it's the hardest game. It's the hardest
It
game you
is.
offer.
It is like, man, this is such more stressful doing this than managing bigger amounts of money in options and stocks. I showed the traders yesterday my biggest loss of this year, and I'm like, then I wonder why traders in the chat are going crazy, why I don't get freaked out over a $3,000 loss or a $5,000 loss when you're taking $250,000 swings on some of this volatility on some of your personal stuff. And I'm just like, it still means more to me, right? Even though I take a $3,000 loss in front of everybody, it's in front of everybody. I'm showing everybody this. I'm basically signing my name to the analysis that I'm doing on air, live, in front of everybody, like this morning. And then when it does work out and it helps traders, it's one of the best feelings.
Yeah, but then when it doesn't work out, everyone's
know.
It's like the town mob comes after you with pitchforks. And they're like, "I lost money because of you," and it's like, but you didn't. Like you're the one inputting the trade, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Like you have to understand that it's going to be wrong at times, right? Like it's the stock market. Like I can't control it.
I wish, man. I wish. And then on top of that, having an upside down win percentage and it's even harder, right? Because that's all the traders see is red, red, red.
Yeah.
And then the one good green day, like today, I was up 7,500. The people who didn't see it, and if they come back tomorrow and I have a red day, they're like, man, this guy's always losing money.
Yeah. This live account, my win rates, I think my win rates god awful in this live account. But then when I was in like the XFAs, combines, like whatever it is, my win rate's fine. Like I was trading on a combine for like a couple days, and it was like in the past week, and I had like a 65% win rate with like a 2.4 RR.
Wow.
And it's like, it doesn't make sense when I go into, like, I don't know what it is, but about the live account, but for whatever reason, like, I choke up on it.
It makes sense. Yeah. Yeah. It's that. It's the chat. It's in your head. It's in my head sometimes subconsciously. Like, okay, I'm gonna take this trade, but then you have to try and explain it in front of everyone. I'm like, I don't really want to explain this trade. I don't even want to show up today because where I take a daily loss limit in slow markets, and then I'm gonna be on fast markets tomorrow morning, and then I'm just like, do I really want to just show up for fast markets tomorrow morning and with a 3,000 day loss limits? And I'm like, you know what? Traders need to see it.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah. I mean, like, like tonight I hit the daily loss limit, right? Like, it's tough.
Yeah. It's fun though. And the overall goal, and it's part of the reason why I'm here at Topstep Baron, is because of the transparency, and because it's not hidden. It's never going to be hidden, and I'm not going to be switching accounts. You can see when I was on air Wednesday, even though I was trading my combine, the team kept that minus $3,000 right above my head.
Yeah.
It said live, Dakota, minus $3,000.
It was the same thing on Tuesday for me.
Yeah.
On Tuesday, I was on Power Hour, and I hit the DLL in my live, and I'd even texted my friend. I was up in the overnight session. I was up like $3-4 grand, and I texted him. I was like, if I hit the DLL, like, you have to come to Texas from Florida and like yell at me or something. But I ended up hitting it, right? Just being stupid. And then I traded on a combine, and I was up $6 grand.
Yeah, that's how it was. I literally, like, let me see these statistics on here. This is the combine. No, I reset it because I passed it. It passed. But yeah, it's like minus $3,000 live account over my head. But then it's like, wait, I just made $15,000 today in this combine. It's like, hey, the most important thing is what am I doing in my live account, and then the rest is basically secondary. And so I respect that. That's what traders need to see. Is if I take a loss, you see the loss, and you're not gonna do that, pull the wool over your eye, or the whatever, switch accounts and only show what the positive thing is. And so that is what I've been. It's kind of like the blessing and the curse, where it's very nice because it's true and it's transparent, but then it sucks when it happens to you. Yeah. Look at gold pushing. Don't get me wrong, chat. I would love to be able to just show all winners, switch accounts, and only show winners. It'd be much easier. Morally, I don't think I could do it. I couldn't sleep very well at night.
Yeah, you have to show the losers too.
Yeah, I don't know. I could never sleep knowing that it's like, yeah, I'm making money by tricking people.
Yeah, for me, like, because I've just been falling down off the big board slowly and surely. But right, I think if I set that daily profit target, I think I just start jumping spots. I think that's the other bit that's hard, because I was like up at number like 15, like just a couple of months ago, and now I'm down to like 35 or something. So I think if I really just focus on like taking the profit for the day, and like I've had days in the past like 2 weeks where I've seen because they post that like best live funded trader P&Ls
from like yesterday's best, right?
Yeah, or whatever it is, and I'll see the P&L up there, and I'm like, I was literally like almost at that amount, and then start to like either over leverage or just continue to trade. And it's like I'm either in the top 5 or like right underneath it. So it's something it's like a mental battle with yourself, right? Where you're just constantly like, okay, like what am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong?
It's the same thing. And Tyson in the chat says, Dakota, you have nothing to prove. You have video receipts. For me, it's just, I'm a very competitive person at nature, and I'm always competing against myself. And so it's less about proving to others and proving to chat, and more about continuing to prove to myself that it's like, yeah, this is not just a joke. I didn't, like, these are profits no matter what. Most of them has came from XFAs, and I don't know the percentage that's came from this live account, but it's just continuing to prove to myself and show, like, yeah, I'm making adjustments in a very insane market this year, and then trying to continue to get to the goal, right? We're never, I don't want to say never being satisfied, but never being content with where you're at, and continuing to improve and show it. Stock, card, sand, bets. That's the difference, right? Is because I don't need to degrade others to prove myself and knowing my own worth.
That's the other thing, like being on, like, we're the ones on camera, and then it's like you have thousands of people who are just like, no one ever has to see their face, no one has to know who they are or whatever it is. And it's, I mean, that's been around for a while with the internet, where it's like you can just kind of be a troll, or like kind of just be a dickhead, right? And there's no consequence to it. And I mean, I've done it in video games and stuff. Like, I used to play League of Legends, and sometimes I'd just be a dickhead, right? But like, when you're like, at the end of the day, right, like, all these people who live stream or like they post stuff online, right? It's like, you're an actual person at the end of the day, right? Like, if you were the one who was posting or whatever it is instead of commenting, like, it wouldn't feel as nice to be a commenter, like a hate, like a troll or whatever it is.
Yeah, there's talking smack, but then it gets to the extent to where it's like, wow, you should have some level of self-respect or respect. It's like there's a balance, right? Because we talk smack all the time on air. I talk smack all the time when I'm playing sports with friends, or just general smack talk. But there's such a difference between smack talk, degrading, and being a good person. Now, don't get me wrong. It's not difficult to sit there, stir up drama, talk smack, get clicks and views, and make money that way, right? But it's having... Yeah, I couldn't do it, man. I couldn't. As much as it would bring up the views, I have not really cared much about the clicks and views and any of those analytics. And that's another reason why I've loved Topstep, is because they've never pushed me to just get clicks and views. They're like, hey, what's going to help you, do what you want to do? And that's help traders trade better and move this industry forward. I'm like, let's do it. Let's get some good traders on slow markets. Let's get traders like yourself, Baron, on here and have these conversations.
I think it's also like slow markets it's very chill, like, compared to
tonight. It is. I mean, if we were in gold, that might be a different story.
Yeah. Well, I think the other thing is, like, when it's fast markets, like, there's people who are working and they can't tune in or whatever it is. And then the other thing is, like, you've got you'll have like 6 or 7 different people come on, right? You'll have risk management, and then the people like, they do the big board and payouts, and Andre and Dakota and me, and I'm forgetting all the names of everyone, but it's like you have a lot of people who come in, right? Like, all at once or whatever it is, right? They dribble in here and there. So this, where it's just like, it's just more mellow.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's different vibes. Fast markets compared to here. Many people coming in, going out. Lots of market volatility news hitting the headlines. Market's moving fast, and it really is a show, right? It's Topstep TV day show, but then this is just very nice, and that's part of why I've enjoyed it so much. Hiding behind a keyboard. Yeah, I'd be very interested to see who would actually keep the same level of energy when you're in person. I'm excited for Topstep Trading League. Go in the studio, maybe we have the big thing, like say in Vegas, arena, and the smack talking and the fun. That's gonna be great.
Yeah. No, I'm excited. I'm excited to see what you guys come out with this year.
I know. I need to convince MP to make sure we have a few pairs of boxing gloves on hand and some few contracts for
I've boxed one time.
Well, you're tall. You got some reach, man.
Yeah, but it was at my high school. We had a senior fight night, which was like literally like everyone just showed up. Like there was like 200 people in this like guy's backyard, and it was like if you had beef with anyone, you could like challenge them to a fight or whatever it was. And I didn't have beef with anyone, but I was trying to convince my friend Noah to fight me for like, dude, it must have been like 45 minutes, and he finally agreed because he's like 5'8" or something. And by the time I had gotten him, like convinced him to fight me, they had lost one of the pairs of boxing gloves. So they gave me boxing gloves and they gave him UFC gloves. And like we were just like going back and forth, and I had like my arms up like this, and his like he just slipped in with the UFC glove, hit me right on the chin, and knocked me on my ass.
UFC gloves are different.
Yeah. That was my one time I boxed when I was like 17.
Yeah, UFC gloves are not really designed for that. It's really there just to protect the fighter's hands and hands and knuckles. Boxing gloves is a whole different world where you could be 6'6", 250 pounds and throw just a full force punch, and if you have proper defense, it won't affect you very much, if at all, if you know how to defend against it. But do that same thing with MMA glove, and no, that's gonna get through some. At least some. If
you do want to set up something with boxing, there is I do have a gym like literally like 200 feet from me. So like if I knew ahead of time, I could go and learn a couple of things.
Yeah, maybe we could bring some boxing gloves to Chicago, Danielle. And some of us who could go would just have some fun. Make sure we get headgear, though.
Sign some liability waivers.
Sign some liability waivers. And we'll trade in the morning and box in the afternoon, lunch, and then we could go find some fun things to do in the evening. Yeah, boxing is more dangerous to the brain, I think, than MMA, because boxing, you take a lot of damage boxing. MMA, it's kind of like you just knock the person out and that's over. But boxing, it's a little more difficult to knock someone out, so it's more dangerous that way. Yeah, I'm sure the lawyers will love it.
Yeah.
As long as it's on our own, right, Danielle? Uh-oh. Jay's sending the links. Let's... Uh-oh, I opened the link on air. Switch. Last time I opened the link on air was Coach Hoop. Oh, there we go. Yeah, we could book that, Jay. Basketball court. That's a nice basketball court. We could book that. We'll have to do, I think we're gonna have to do a lot of fun activities like this.
Oh, if it's basketball,
Well, it doesn't have to be basketball. I mean, it could be.
I cannot play basketball for the life of me, bro. Everyone always asks me, they're like, "Do you play basketball?" Because like I'm so tall, and I'm like, I am the clumsiest person like you will meet. I'm always like banging my shins into things and like tripping over myself, and it's just
Okay. What is
not good.
one activity you would destroy?
Um, Honestly, I don't know. Like I didn't really play like I played sports when I was a kid.
Anything, man.
And then I only played like tennis in high school.
You would
So I
destroy
haven't
me in
touched
tennis. You
I
would.
haven't touched tennis in a long time though.
You would still destroy me. I've never played tennis. Never
Okay.
played. Jay, let's book it. It's Aaron. It's Baron and I this summer are probably going to be meeting up in Chicago with the man in the chat, Coach Jay. It's gonna be fun. Throw some prizes in. We could box for who pays for dinner or lunch. Chat. I'm still not seeing
we can do that.
decent setups. Danielle, not worried about us bruising up our faces. That's why we would bring headgear.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about it too much.
There's some pretty high-end boxing gyms in Chicago I want to go see. Gold's holding these 3290s. And just like that, we're down to 10 minutes. Boxing for live account bonuses.
That would be interesting.
That would be fun. Looking around these markets, I think that's it, man. We had that sell-off in gold during the slow markets. I didn't catch it. There's traders in the catch that the chat. I see catch that.
I'd expect NQ and ES to probably continue to just grind up. Typically, if you look at, I was looking into Edgeful on some stats, and it's like Asia and London will typically trend together. So like if Asia closes green, then London will close green. And then another one was London most of the time only breaks one side of Asia. It's like 80% of the time it only breaks one side of Asia. And this looks like it's starting to move towards the high. So I would expect that Asia continues to trend up.
Okay. I could see that as well. Gold's continuing to sell off. We're trying. 100 contracts came in at the ask. So we're almost back down to where we were for maybe Liberation Day on gold. That would be interesting. Have you ever traded London session?
I have in Hawaii. When I was in Hawaii.
Oh, different time. Okay.
Yeah, that was like a year ago. But yeah, you can because in Hawaii, I think New York AM opens at like 3 or 4 in the morning or something like that. It's crazy early.
Oh, wow. Yeah, look, all those contracts just got filled in gold. 100 of them right at 32.91 half. And they got filled. Lots of people selling gold today. What's the Gorillaz song I mentioned? Oh, they were talking about what would be our walkout theme song. Maybe we could get a walkout theme song when it comes to the Top Step Trading League. That'd be fun. Introduce them with a walkout song to the trading pit in the studio. That would be. I'm up for that one. I vote for it. But Gorillaz, it's Feel Good Inc. Have you ever?
Oh, that's yeah.
Yeah, I think a better one though. Throw me on some Godsmack. Godsmack would be some better walkout music.
I think I'd have to go with like just something crazy. Maybe Levels by Big X the Plug.
By what? Say it again.
Big X the Plug. Do you know him?
Uh-uh.
He's a rapper. He's out of like Dallas.
Okay, let me get my phone. I'm looking this up. All right. Okay, what was the artist?
Big X the Plug. The song's Levels.
All right, let's see. I can't put it on air. Sorry, chat. Yeah. I can see you walking out to this. There you go. All right, I'm gonna have to listen to that full song out later. I have a flight to catch here in a few hours.
Where are you headed? Las Vegas?
Yeah, Las Vegas. That will give me some on-flight music.
Yeah, do you listen to... I usually listen to like a podcast on a flight.
I just have some downloaded music, and I try and take a nap sometimes.
Yeah, I usually do the same, but I wake up with like a crooked neck or like something along those lines.
Yeah, it's hard to sleep on the plane. Live stream? No, I have, unfortunately, fast markets in the morning, but unfortunately I have a work and business meeting tomorrow for supply chain. I get a trade. I get a trade in the morning with Topstep, fast markets, but then after that, it's just work. Work and taking care of a few things, and then maybe over the weekend I might find some poker. I don't know. We'll see. Richard Harris says, how's the supply chain for Mexico? Everything's a mess, man. Everything in the supply chain world is just everyone scrambling, nobody knowing what's going to happen.
Yeah, aren't a lot of businesses, aren't they just like loading up on inventories?
Yeah, a lot of business, they're trying to. That's the big question, is trying. Ooh, I like that. Trading like a bot. Did I say that? I probably, it sounds like something I'd say. You're not a trader until you can set a trade and accept the result, no matter what the outcome. And I'm not seeing anything else. There wasn't really much of opportunities tonight other than that short gold, maybe a long as soon as we started in the NASDAQ or ES, but that's hindsight. Hindsight capital. It's business, Leon. I think we're coming to an end, man. Time went by fast. Thanks for
So,
coming on again. I think
well, thanks for having me.
Yeah, Thursdays.
Yeah.
Sounds like it's a game plan.
Dude,
Hopefully we get
Thursdays, fast markets, slow markets, whatever it is. Thursdays, Tuesdays, something like that.
Yeah.
I think it's Tuesdays, Thursdays.
Okay. Yeah, Thursdays for slow markets is best for me on my end. Hopefully we get, I don't know if better markets is the right word. I mean, we've been seeing
I just
a lot
want them
of
to vary a bit. Like Trump, just make a fucking deal.
Yeah.
Get Barron to influence him a little bit.
Yeah, it's find something. Oh, you're talking about his son, not you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, yeah. I mean, if you have a way to, yeah. Any last words before we end the stream tonight?
I don't really got much. Like, I just hope everyone has a good weekend, and have a safe flight to Vegas.
Thank you. And you enjoy your weekend, man. Don't think too much about any of the markets. Go touch grass. Enjoy your killer Discord. I hopped in there for a little bit, and they seem super chill. I trolled your moderator for a little bit.
Which one was it? Was it Bassett?
Let me give you. I can tell you who it was. I think so. They didn't know who I was. They didn't know who I was, and he was so nice. He's like, "Hey, how are you?" I'm like, "I really want to learn to trade like Dakota on TopstepTV," and he's like, "Oh," and he's just being so nice. You could probably go back and see it.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I think I saw like the first night you hopped in there. You were like, I saw some of the messages and I was like, "That's funny, bro."
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I trolled him. I gotta find those. Let's see. Oh, no. This is what I said. I'm new here. I want to become an amazing trader like Barron. And that was good. He asked me what my strategy was, and I said I fade TopstepTV. And he's like, "What's that?" Yeah, that was a good time. Oh man. All right.
Yeah, you said you might need a new combine too.
I know. I was trying to win a combine, but all right. I'm gonna leave it at that. Thanks again, Barron, and I'll see you on. Man, I'll see you around. If not,
Tuesday or Thursday, sometime next week.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, chat. Thanks, everybody. And I'll probably give updates if you guys love to just pocket watch me or whatever on the Twitterverse. So take care and see you then.
All right, I'll see you, Dakota.
See ya.
Thank you.